Am I the a-hole for being upset because my wealthy best friend wouldn't let me borrow $5? My best friend and I have been friends for nearly 7 years. When we first met, she was struggling financially and lived paycheck to paycheck. At one point, her car broke down and she had no transportation to work, so I would let her borrow my car and never asked her for gas money or anything in return. At the time, I was financially secure and was happy to help her out. As the years went by, my financial situation changed, and just like her, I began living paycheck to paycheck. By this time, she had started dating a guy she met online who revealed to her a few months into dating that he was a millionaire. They married shortly after, and suffice to say, she has not had to struggle since. There have been a few times I have asked to borrow money, which I have always paid back. It's usually not much, less than $25 or so each time, and she would always oblige with no problems until recently. The last couple times I asked to borrow money, she said she didn't have it, which I found odd. But then I asked to borrow $5 and she said the same thing, and I thought it was odd that she told me she didn't have $5 to spare. I know that ever since she got married, her brothers and a couple other friends have tried taking advantage of her newfound wealth by asking to borrow money they never paid back and having her bail them out of situations they put themselves in that have cost her a lot of money. I started to think that maybe I had forgotten to pay her back money I owed her at some point, so I reached out to her to ask if that was the case. When she told me that wasn't the case, as in, I had always paid her back, I told her I felt hurt, because it felt like if I needed her help with something, I used the example if I ended up in jail, that I couldn't reach out to her for help because she couldn't even let me borrow $5. She replied and said that, just like her brothers, I needed to learn how to budget my money better, and that she can't be the one to bail everyone out. She said when she was struggling, she had to work multiple jobs and did what she had to do. I replied and said that it was not fair for her to lump me in with her brothers, as I have never done anything to take advantage of her, and I never would have said something like that to her when I let her borrow my car. And any time she would ask me to borrow money when she was struggling, I told her I loved her, but that I was ending the conversation, and she replied that this is why money and friends should never mix. Since then, she has reached out and said, I didn't deserve that conversation last night. I hope you know that. To which I have not replied to and have no plans to. I am deeply hurt that she feels I was in the wrong, but I do not think I was the a-hole here. I understand that I am not entitled to anyone's money, borrowed or not, but when she was in my shoes, I did everything I could to help her out. I could understand if I had asked to borrow a large amount of money, but I literally asked for $5.